Welcome to Infinite Mind Potential, where we unlock the hidden secrets of human greatness through ancient wisdom and modern psychology. We often look at masters of their craft and believe they were born with a divine spark of unachievable talent. Society tells us that these individuals are outliers, gifted with something magical that the rest of us simply do not possess. This dangerous myth becomes an excuse for our own failures, allowing us to quit before we have even truly started trying. In our fast-paced digital world, we demand instant gratification and immediate results, ignoring the slow, invisible path that leads to mastery. But the truth is that greatness is not an accident. It is the result of a systematic process called Shuhari. This ancient concept has guided samurai, tea masters, and artisans for centuries, providing a clear roadmap from novice to enlightened master. It explains that mastery is not about breaking the rules immediately, but about submitting yourself completely to a proven, rigid structure. Before you can ever hope to think outside the box, you must first understand the exact dimensions and nature of the box. Today, we will dissect this three-stage journey, showing you exactly where you are stuck and how to move to the next level. Let us begin with the first and most critical phase, Shu, which translates to protect, obey, or maintain the traditional wisdom. This is the stage of absolute imitation, where the learner must surrender their ego and follow the teacher's instructions without question. In the modern world, we hate this stage because we value individuality and creativity above the hard work of foundational learning. We want to hack the system, find shortcuts, and express ourselves before we even have the vocabulary to speak the language. However, Shu demands that you empty your cup, forgetting what you think you know, to make space for true, objective knowledge. The goal here is not innovation. It is to program your physical and mental muscle memory with the correct fundamental forms. Through thousands of repetitions, the technique moves from your conscious mind into your subconscious, becoming a reflex rather than a thought. You must trust the process completely, believing that the rigid rules exist to protect you from developing bad habits later on. This stage can feel boring, restrictive, and repetitive, which is exactly why most people quit before they ever reach proficiency. There is no shortcut for time. You cannot rush the fermentation of wine, nor can you rush the absorption of basics. Think of this as building the foundation of a skyscraper. If you dig deep enough, the building can eventually touch the clouds. The master understands that freedom comes from discipline, and that spontaneous creativity is only possible when the basics are automatic. In coding, this means understanding the syntax and logic perfectly before trying to build complex applications or use advanced frameworks. In art, it means mastering perspective, anatomy, and light before you ever attempt to develop your own unique abstract style. The Shu stage tests your commitment. It filters out those who just want the glory from those willing to do the work. You're becoming a vessel for the tradition, ensuring that the knowledge is preserved accurately within your own body and mind. Years may pass in this stage, and to the outside observer it may seem like you are not making any progress, but internally, you're being polished. Your rough edges are being smoothed, and your capacity for greatness is being quietly expanded. Eventually, the rules become a part of you. You no longer need to think about how to hold the tool correctly. This is the signal that you are ready to transition, that the vessel is full and ready to be expanded further. Now we enter the second stage, Ha, which translates to detach, break, or digress from the traditional forms you have mastered. Having mastered the rules, you are now permitted to question them, to understand the underlying principles of why they exist. This is the phase of analysis and experimentation, where you stop simply following orders and start engaging your own critical thinking. You begin to explore other schools of thought, integrating techniques from different masters to see what works best for your body. It is a time of calculated risk, where you might fail or make mistakes. But these failures are now educational, not detrimental. You are leaving the safety of the teacher's protection, venturing out to test the validity of the rules in the real world. The focus shifts from how to do something to why we do it, and what if we did it differently. This is often where innovation happens, as the practitioner realizes the limitations of the original system and seeks to improve it. You start to personalize the skill, adapting the rigid forms to fit your unique physical attributes, personality, and mental strengths. However, you can only break the rules effectively because you know them so well. A novice breaking rules is just chaotic. There's a massive difference between ignoring the basics out of laziness and transcending the basics out of deep, mastered understanding. The Ha stage is uncomfortable because you are no longer guaranteed success. You are navigating uncharted territory without a clear map. You are deconstructing your learning, keeping what is useful, discarding what is not, and adding what is uniquely your own. In business, this is when a company pivots, realizing the old market rules no longer apply and daring to disrupt. It requires courage to trust your intuition, which has been quietly developing during the long, boring years of the Shu stage. You realize there is no single correct way, but rather many ways, and you must find the one that resonates. This is the birth of style. Before this, you were just a copy of your teacher, but now you are emerging. You are learning to let go of the rigid structure that once supported you, trusting that you can now stand alone. The risk of failure is highest here, but so is the potential for growth. Without this stage, you remain a robot. As you navigate the chaos of Ha, a new order begins to emerge, not from the outside, but from within you. Finally, we reach the ultimate stage, Re, which translates to leave, separate, or transcend, where the technique becomes invisible. In this stage, you are no longer a practitioner of the art. You have become the art itself, living and breathing it. There are no techniques, no rules, and no conscious thought. Your actions are pure, spontaneous responses to the present moment. This is what psychologists call the flow state, where the doer and the deed merge into one seamless, effortless entity. You create your own rules, not by rejecting the past, but because the past is now so deeply integrated, it's unconscious. A master surgeon doesn't think about anatomy during a crisis. Their hands simply know where to go to save the life. The tool has become an extension of the body. The computer, the brush, or the sword is no longer a separate object. Think of how you drive a car now compared to your first lesson. You don't think about the pedals, you just drive. Re is the return to simplicity. After learning all the complex rules, the master's work often looks incredibly simple and easy, but this simplicity is deceptive. It is the simplicity on the far side of complexity, costing a lifetime of dedication. At this stage, the practice is no longer something you do for an hour a day. It is how you live. You see patterns that others miss. You anticipate problems before they arise, and you create solutions that seem like magic. The master has transcended the technique to touch the spirit of the art, connecting with a universal truth beyond words. It is a state of mind of no mind, where the ego has completely dissolved, leaving only the pure act of creation. Interestingly, the Re stage often leads back to the beginning, as the master eventually becomes the teacher for a new generation. True masters remain humble, knowing that while they have mastered one mountain, there are infinite other peaks left to climb. Shu, Ha, Re. Obedience, divergence, transcendence. This is the universal algorithm for downloading greatness into the human nervous system. But how does this apply to you, sitting at your desk, struggling with your career, your art, or your relationships? First, you must stop looking for the magic pill. Accept that you must spend years in the Shu stage of boring repetition. Find a mentor or a system that works, and follow it blindly. Do not judge it until you have mastered it. Embrace the boredom. When you feel bored, realize that this is your brain resisting the hard work of building neural highways. When you hit a plateau, do not quit. That plateau is where the consolidation happens, preparing you for the leap to Ha. Only when you are undeniably competent should you start to experiment. Innovation without foundation is just confusion disguised as creativity. The journey to Re is long, and you may never fully reach it, but the pursuit itself is what gives life meaning. Every great master you admire started as a clumsy beginner who simply refused to give up on the process of Shuhari. Your potential is infinite, but it is locked behind the door of discipline. You have the key. You just need to turn it. Stop waiting for inspiration. Inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. Time will pass anyway. You can spend it scrolling, or you can spend it building a skill that will define your legacy. Remember, by mastering yourself, You also become a beacon for others, showing them what is possible through dedication. The Library of Human Mastery is open to everyone. There is no gatekeeper, only the price of admission, your effort. Shuhari removes the mystery of talent and replaces it with the certainty of method. It makes the impossible inevitable. Your sweat is the water that nourishes the seed of your potential. Without it, the seed remains dormant forever. Learn to love the plateau. Learn to love the resistance. These are the signs that you are on the right path. Build your bridge to greatness, one stone at a time. Do not worry about the other side. Just lay the next stone. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a vital part of the Shu and Ha stages. Embrace it. With every repetition, you are physically rewiring your brain, transforming yourself from the inside out into a master. Work in the dark so that you can shine in the light. The master is made in the lonely hours. In the silence of practice, you will find who you truly are. You will face your demons and defeat them. Be the lighthouse for your own life. Let the discipline of Shuhari be the light that guides you through chaos. Precision precedes power. Do not try to be powerful. Try to be precise, and power will naturally follow. As we enter the second half of this journey, ask yourself, what is the one skill you truly wish to master? Identify it. Then find the Shu, the fundamental rules and teachers that govern that specific skill. Stop there today. Sacrifice is required. You cannot have the normal life of leisure and the exceptional life of mastery simultaneously. Resilience is key. When the process gets difficult, remember that the difficulty is the filter that removes your competition. Let the pressure of the process forge you. Do not run from the heat. It is burning away your impurities. Visualization is a powerful tool in the Shu stage. See the perfect form in your mind before you attempt it. Mastery is the marriage of logic and intuition. Shu builds the logic so that Ha and Ri can release the intuition. To truly master the Shu stage, try teaching the basics to someone else. It will reveal gaps in your knowledge. Observe the masters. Watch not just what they do, but notice what they do not do. Subtraction is often the secret. Shuhari is a process of stripping away the non-essential until only the pure, effective essence of the action remains. Your body will want to quit. Your mind will invent excuses. Your training is the only thing that will keep you moving. The joy of mastery is unlike any other pleasure. It is the deep satisfaction of overcoming a challenge through your own growth. Understand that Shuhari is a spiral, not a straight line. You will revisit the basics many times, each time with deeper insight. When you return to Shu after experiencing Ha and Ri, you will see the basics in a completely new, profound light. Structure brings peace. Chaos brings anxiety. By structuring your learning, you remove the anxiety of, am I doing this right? Start by organizing your environment. Your external world reflects your internal state. Prepare your dojo for the work ahead. Protect your focus. In the Shu stage, distraction is the enemy. You need deep, unbroken concentration to encode the skills. Patience is power. Like a drawn bow, the longer you hold the tension of discipline, the further your arrow will fly. When the release comes, the Ri stage, it will be accurate and powerful because the foundation was solid. Stop envying the results of others and start studying their systems. What was their Shu? Who was their teacher? Cultivate humility. The arrogant student learns nothing. The humble student absorbs everything like a dry sponge. If your cup is full of your own opinions, you cannot learn. Empty your cup. Assume you know nothing. Feedback is a gift, even when it hurts. In the Shu stage, correction is the only way to stay on the path. Do not practice mistakes. If you repeat a bad habit, you are mastering the wrong thing. Correction must be immediate. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but it is completed by keeping on walking. Trust that change is happening, even when you cannot feel it. Growth is often invisible, until it becomes undeniable. The struggle is necessary. Like the butterfly emerging from the cocoon, the struggle strengthens you for the flight of Re. When the time comes to perform, trust your training. Your body knows what to do. Let your mind step aside. External validation is nice, but the internal satisfaction of flow and mastery is the true reward of the Shuhari path. By becoming a master, you uplift everyone around you. You become a living example of human potential realized. Your mastery ripples out, inspiring others to begin their own journey. You change the world by changing yourself. So what is your plan? Will you dabble in a dozen things, or will you master one thing deeply? Choose depth over breadth. In a world of generalists, the specialist is king. The master is revered. Every morning is a battle between comfort and greatness. Win the morning, and you win the day. As you advance, the fog of confusion lifts. You see the world with a clarity that others simply cannot comprehend. Share your knowledge. The flow of Shuhari must not stop with you. It must flow through you to others. Stagnation is death. Even the master must keep learning, keep refining, keep pushing the boundaries of what is possible. It is never too late to start. You can begin your Shuhari journey today, regardless of your age or past failures. The only thing standing between you and greatness is the decision to submit to the process. Make that decision now. Step out of your comfort zone. The magic happens in the discomfort of the Shu and Ha stages. You are the next link in the chain of human excellence. Do not break the chain. Strengthen it. Be humble enough to learn, brave enough to experiment, and wise enough to transcend. This is the way. Shu, Ha, Re. 3 syllables that contain the secret to unlocking the infinite potential of your mind. Close your eyes. Visualize your path. Commit to the discipline. The world is waiting for your mastery. The path is open. The map is in your hands. The destination is greatness. Will you take the first step? Remember, Shu is the foundation. Without it, everything collapses. Do not skip the basics. Build them strong. Ha is evolution. It is where you find your unique voice. Do not fear being different once you are competent. Re is freedom. It is the ultimate goal, where work becomes play and effort becomes art. There is no greater feeling than knowing you gave your all to your craft today. Sleep well, master in training. Align your life with these principles and watch how the friction disappears, replaced by momentum and progress. Believe in your capacity to change. You're not a fixed object. You are a process of constant becoming. The mountains are high, but you have the climbing gear. Shuhari is the gear. Now, climb. And when you reach the top, reach back down. Help others find the path. That is the duty of the master. Our exploration of Shuhari ends here, but your practice begins now. The theory is done. The work remains. If you found value in this ancient wisdom, consider applying it to just one area of your life this week. Join our community of learners. Subscribe to Infinite Mind Potential as we continue to explore the architecture of greatness. Check out our other videos on flow state, discipline, and the psychology of success to further your journey. Remember, the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Do not be afraid to fail. Thank you for investing your most valuable resource, your time, with us today. Go forth and master your craft. This is Infinite Mind Potential, signing off. Unlock your mind, follow the process, and achieve the impossible.